Well, we've been joined by Ramiz Raja to talk about Pakistan and where they went wrong, because surely not Pakistan's day, the way Pakistan performed and delivered, but just in terms of where they sort of lost it, there's a couple of points. Where would you like to start?
I think batting up front, not enough confidence in the middle phase of the innings, and that can happen because you don't have a flourishing late middle order. And so whosoever then gets in wants to get stuck and sort of take it upon himself to not fail. And that can derail you from your target. And a target on the surface clearly was 300. And there were massive blows up front. Berger, their ball with a lot of hostility, a lot of pace, got rid of the top three. And overall, I think everything worked so well for South Africa. The team selection, reading of the pitch, their fast bowlers putting in the effort, the spinners coming into their own, and siding, blowing away Pakistan, in fact, with the bat. And so it's an issue. It's a crisis. It's a confidence issue at times. It's a skill issue at times. It's a collective capitulation at times. So I'm not too sure what happens, after doing so well in one game, the second game is not as hot as it was supposed to be. This is a rookie South African team. You take a couple of players out and it becomes a very young side. And to have that inbuilt confidence, which is typical South African confidence, they never give up. And even though Pakistan tried their hand at hitting the big shots in the last part of the innings, but it was just not enough runs, JP. They were clearly about 30, 40 runs short.
Yeah, on the onset, you'd think, how the conditions end up playing. I spoke about it on comms a little bit earlier as well. In the second half of the first innings in the first game, we saw there was quite a lot of turn that was on offer. But we certainly didn't see that today. There was no demons in the pitch. Kudos to South Africa in the execution of their skill. I spoke about the margin of error being very small. So, to be that accurate, you have to give credit where credit is due. And then to come out, yes, you can see here there was a little bit of dew on offer, which probably allowed the ball to come on a little bit better for the South African batters. But just the precision that they showed, and really the positiveness in terms of their stroke play and options that they took, really trying to dominate with aerial options as well. I think about the opening partnership stand of 81 between Pretorius and de Kock, really stamped the authority on that innings. And it was a real pleasure to watch, from a batting point of view.
And if there was, you've got to keep the dew factor in mind when you win the toss, decide to bat first. You've got to pad up the score with extra 20, 30 runs, definitely. And Pakistan obviously didn't have the strength in the air to get to a 300 score.
Even the bowling, of course, you had some late, flourish from Mohammad Nawaz and Fahim Ashraf chipping in with that cameo, and you got to 270 because at one point it looked like you wouldn't even be reaching there. So, just in terms of the bowling, could they have done anything differently with regards to defending that total?
I think so. They needed a massive breakthrough up front with the new ball in the first 6 overs. That did not materialize. Then they weren't as disciplined as the situation wanted them to be. So they sprayed the ball around, and in the end it was just too awkward and too late for them to make a recovery because of the dewy conditions and also the fact that South Africa batted brilliantly. It was, they bossed the situation completely with the bat. And glimpses of hope through maybe Wasim Jr. for about 2-3 overs. But the spinners really did have a tough gig. And then, unless Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah, pick wickets, it was always going to be tough. So they had to lead them from the front.
Quinton de Kock certainly led from the front with the bat, with the kind of runs he scored, and he's got all that experience in the world. How much is it going to help his confidence, the fact that he's come back and managed to score 100 in subcontinent conditions?
Well, it was interesting listening to some of the stats around particularly chasing for South Africa when he's scored more than 75% of the games were won by South Africa. And that shows the impact that he's had in ODI cricket, the ability to score hundreds. I think he's got 22 hundreds now. I know it's his second against Pakistan. But just listening to him at the post-match presentation, you can sense that there's a calmness about him now. 2 years later, coming into international cricket, there's a renewed hunger about him and the willingness to want to do well for his country again. When you have that type of Quinny de Kock in the change room, I think it can only bode well for a South African side in whatever format you play.
I think another thing that when you talk about Pakistan batting is you look at Quinton de Kock and his average and his numbers, the fact that he scored 100. It's been quite a while where, since we've actually seen a Pakistani batter score a big 100. I mean, why is that? Because you're talking about the ODI format where it's pretty regular to see hundreds by batsmen that you expect to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I don't have an answer, actually, because I don't know what is happening in the dugout, how they're feeling mentally. It's a mental thing more than anything else. And once you start winning, then everything falls into place also. And Pakistan have been sort of haphazard in their approach. At times they've been very good for about a couple of matches and then everything falls down. And so they have to recover and restart again. If they start winning, maybe then we'll see the top order clicking and some of the players getting hundreds.
All right then. Well, the action continues for that third one-day international. Remember, the series is 1-1 at this point of time, and whoever basically goes on to win that takes the trophy home. Right then, JP, thoughts on that last one-day international?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and another opportunity to test the character of both sides. And you're coming into a final, you have to bring your A game. You have to understand the conditions well, how we're going to execute our skill, communicate it around the change room. And again, from a South African standpoint, it's a young team. And I really want to see some good characters stand up and put in some big performances.
Third ODI, that's the one chance Pakistan has to stay, to win the series and end it on a positive note. Anything that you would like from them in particular?
I don't know how the surface will be, because I was thinking that if they win today, you probably have a 300 surface for the last game. But I think now, from tactical point of view, they may have to prepare another square turner and take it from there. But it's a must-win game for Pakistan. They want to win this at home. Faisalabad hosting an international series after 17 years. It's a lot at stake. So take heart, move forward, learn from your mistakes, and make sure that there's less difference between the two sides, because it'll test them technically. That last game, it'll test them mentally. And you've got to be on top of the game. And Babar Azams of the world really would have to come to the party.
Well, Pakistan has a chance to be on top of the game because the third one-day international is going to be played on Saturday. This is the final game of this entire tour. Started off with the Test series, then we had the T20 internationals, and now finally we are here for this KFC Presents Vigotel Mobile ODI series, which will be, all coverage will be starting at 2:25. All right, then. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts and your insight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on pitch side. It's been a fantastic comeback by South Africa. Just what you needed to keep the series alive. And plenty to look forward to for that game on Saturday. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us.